Let's review some of the client requirements when using Intune. Devices running Windows 8.1 or Windows 10 can be fully enrolled and managed as mobile devices in Intune. They require no additional software since the operating system has the necessary components built in. However, you may still have some legacy devices within your organization that you wish to manage with Intune. You can manage these devices by installing the legacy Intune software client. In this way, Windows 7 PCs can be managed as legacy devices using old-school or traditional management. The legacy client software allows Intune to manage many features, including software update management, where you can keep PCs up to date with updates, implement policy. For example, ensuring that all PCs have a properly configured Windows firewall. Anti-malware protection, so your PCs are protected from malware. App deployment for deploying software to manage PCs, and software license management to track software license availability and usage. You can install the Intune client on the following versions of Windows: Windows 7, Windows 8.1, and Windows 10. However, if you're using Windows 8.1 or Windows 10 devices, then it's recommended that you enroll these devices as mobile devices directly into Intune, as this uses the modern MDM approach. Now, also the extended support for Windows 7 expires on January the 14th, 2020. The minimum hardware requirements for installing the legacy Intune software client includes networking with internet connectivity, processor, and memory requirements as required by the operating system. At least 200 megabytes of available disk space. You'll need local administrator permissions to install the client software. Your PC will need to have Windows Installer 3.1 or later installed, and you must uninstall any version of Configuration Manager or Microsoft Systems Management Server or SMS from your system. Intune provides comprehensive malware protection in the form of the Intune Endpoint Protection component. This uses Windows Defender on a client PC. If you already have an existing third-party anti-malware tool installed, then you can retain this or uninstall it and allow the Intune Endpoint Protection component to be installed instead. Whilst ever legacy Windows clients are supported by Microsoft, you'll be able to still download and deploy the Intune client. The legacy Intune client is available to download from the PC management section of the device enrollment area of the Intune portal in Azure. Oddly, this is only available in the Azure portal, and you won't find the legacy PC management within the Microsoft 365 device management. Once you have the legacy client, you can manage Windows 7 computers using Intune. You can deploy the Intune client using one of several methods. You can use an administrative deployment, a user-initiated enrollment for computers, or via a centralized image installation. With an administrative deployment, you'll download the client software from the Intune portal and then manually install it onto the target computers. If you have a large number of PCs to install the software onto, you can automate this process by publishing the application to machines using group policy. If a user has a legacy PC and an Intune license, they can self-enroll their PC by downloading and installing the client software. To do this, they'll need to go to the company portal website located at portal.management.microsoft.com, and once enrolled, their device will have the legacy client software installed. The final option is to deploy the Intune client software as part of a deployment image, perhaps using Windows Deployment Server or Microsoft Deployment Toolkit. In this way, the Intune client software is ready, backed into the operating system, and the targeted computer can be automatically enrolled into Intune after Windows setup finishes. After the initial Intune client installation completes, the agent will be updated automatically over the internet. This will include the latest Intune agent, plus the most recent anti-malware protection. You should note that it can take up to 30 minutes or longer to complete the software updates, and once completed, the Intune agent will put you in updated status and inventory, and the device will be shown the Microsoft 365 device management or the Intune portal in Azure. Let's drop onto our demo tenant and see how to download the legacy PC client for Intune. First, I'll open Internet Explorer 11, which has already got Silverlight installed, and then navigate to management.microsoft.com. I'll then sign in as a tenant administrator for my Intune trial. We're automatically redirected to the Intune portal in Microsoft Azure. Here you can see under the device enrollment. PC management. Legacy management, we have the ability to download the MDM client for a legacy PC. This client can be used for Windows 7 and Windows 8 whilst they remain in support. I'll confirm that I want to use the legacy PC client. I then need to confirm 3 statements before I can download the client. I'll confirm that Microsoft recommends Windows 10 PCs are managed by Intune. I'll confirm I'm aware that Windows 7 support ends in early 2020 and that I want to enable legacy PC management and click Done. And now I need to click the link to open the Intune Classic portal where I can then download the files. This is where we need to have installed the Silverlight component into Internet Explorer 11, as the legacy portal is not compatible with Microsoft Edge. The legacy Intune portal appears, and if I select the admin tile on the left-hand side, and then under Administration, select Client Software Download. Here we can see a link to download the client software and also information for manually deploying the client and automatically deploying the client. I'll click the link to download the client software and save the file, and then open the folder. Here we can see the Intune zip file, which I'll need to install on the legacy PC. I've copied the Intune setup files to my Windows 8 PC. I'll extract them. And here we can see the 2 files that I created are a setup file and cert file. These must be kept together at all times, as the setup file uses the certificate during the installation. To install the legacy client, I'll double-click the setup file and allow the installation to proceed. The first part of the installation is completed. The rest of the installation can take up to 30 minutes to complete. The top-level actions that Intune performs during this time will involve the Intune agent being updated. If I look in the bottom right-hand corner, in the notification area, we can see that Intune client has been installed. Intune is downloading and installing the latest anti-malware software onto the PC in the background. Once these tasks have been completed, the device will be listed in the Intune portal in Azure. You'll also be able to see the Microsoft Intune Center on the PC and access the company portal. Let's return to the Windows 8 PC now that we've given time for the Intune setup to complete. In the notification area, we can see 2 icons. One relates to the Intune Endpoint Protection, and here we can see the Microsoft Intune Endpoint Protection console with the real-time protection enabled and the virus and spyware definitions up to date. The other icon relates to the Microsoft Intune Center. Here we can see a launch pad to applications updates, endpoint protection, and remote assistance.